What's up, guys? Coach John Wojo here with JW Fitness answering another question for you. This is somewhat of a long-winded question, but I'm going to kind of paraphrase here. Basically, the gist of it is this woman got out of a bad relationship. He made some comments about her physique, and she wants to exact her revenge by losing the 15 to 20 pounds that she's struggling to lose. And she goes on and says that she tries to eat healthy and works out 3 times a week. She's recently done a 5K. She is heavier than she'd like to be, obviously 15 to 20 pounds heavier than she'd like to be. It's uncomfortable for her, and she's in that kind of menopause age, where she's concerned that that might be having some effect on her ability to lose weight. She's looking for help. How do I lose these 15 to 20 pounds? And it is the same as everybody else. It's the same way that everybody else has to lose their last 15 to 20 pounds. It is by creating and maintaining a calorie deficit or an energy deficit, if you want to call it that, and then being religiously consistent with that daily calorie deficit until you achieve the desired results, just like a recipe. All right. Now, the trick is that you have to indeed be in a calorie deficit. And that's what people get hooked on, or that's what people typically get snagged on, is a lot of people think they're in a calorie deficit when they're not, or think they're in a much larger calorie deficit than they really are. Or they are in a decent calorie deficit most of the time, but on those days that they fall off the wagon and down an entire pizza and 2-liter bottle of soda, that those extra calories that they eat on those days when they just don't care and they just need to indulge in some sweets, those days they might be eating enough calories on those days to completely make up or overcome the deficit that they otherwise created on all the days that they were quote unquote good. So there is no super accurate way that you're going to find on the computer or otherwise that's going to tell you this is absolutely where you need to be calorie wise in order to maintain your weight, to lose weight, to gain weight. It is something that you are going to have to make an educated guess, shoot for that number of calories every day, and then make adjustments as you go depending on the feedback that you get from your own body. You have to treat yourself like you were your own science experiment, and you have to experiment on yourself. But that means you have to control for the variables in your science experiment. So you're not going to get any reliable data if you're always eating different amounts of calories and different macronutrient ratios and different foods, and some days you're cheating and some days you're not, and some days you're fasting and some days you're not, right? You've got to, at least for a period of time, in order to really narrow down what is the appropriate amount of calories for you, what is the appropriate macro ratios that make you feel energized, allow you to recover, allow you to sleep well, don't bother your stomach, etc., etc. You're going to have to figure all that out for yourself eventually. No coach is going to be able to dictate to you, this is what you need to do, period, end of story. They could guide you and they could kind of hold your hand, but they can't do the work for you. So you're going to have to figure that out for yourself. And that's just the gist of it. So you even say in your question, I try to eat healthy. Well, that's why you're always going to be trying to lose 15 to 20 pounds, right? You either are on freaking point with your nutrition or you're not. And that's where I would start. Working out 3 times a week is great. I hope, your resistance training also. You like to run. Running is fine. But I would get in the gym and resistance train to make sure that your weight loss is coming from fat and not muscle loss. And you have to get your nutrition in order. You have to get your energy balance figured out so you know when you are in fact in reality in a calorie deficit, and then you're going to have to do the hard work of maintaining that calorie deficit consistently until you see the weight loss that you want to see. There is no circumventing the process. There are no shortcuts. There is no magic formula or pill or exercise or workout routine. It is just about being religiously consistent, assuming you have you're on the right plan and you're hitting the right numbers. All right. That's all I got to say about that, guys. If you appreciate the content, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.